Well, this right here is a brand new C70. That's right, a brand new C70 bought just a couple of weeks ago in 2026. And you're probably saying to yourself, why is Waynos buying a brand new C70 in 2026? Because there's so many great cameras that are on the market already. Now, probably some of the reasons why I picked a C70 over other cameras is maybe not the obvious reasons, because a lot of people talking about RAW and they're talking about open gate and talking about all of this cool stuff that you can get in the camera. Well, this does do RAW, but I don't use RAW, so that's not the reason. And I'm not after open gate, even though I'm shooting on an anamorphic lens right now. I've had open gate in the camera before, and I don't think it gives you that much value unless you're using 2 times anamorphics, which I'm not. I'm using 1.5 times anamorphics with my Blazer Remus. But the main reasons why I bought the Canon C70, it's a balance of price, because what I got for my price, which was a 5,000 Aussie, is 2 batteries and the camera. And the camera comes with a handle, it comes with a microphone holder and all the little bits and pieces. They're not extra, they're all included. Now, that gives me 6 hours of runtime included in the price of the camera. And there's not many cameras that are offering that sort of longevity with your camera. Normally when you go out and buy a camera, you got to go and buy extra batteries, you got to buy media and all that sort of thing. And that's the other reason why I also picked a Canon C70, and that's because of the media. Now, everyone knows that media is actually insane pricing at the moment, and the cost is becoming very significant to running your processes and basically transferring your content onto SSD drives, onto your computers, and the amount of space it's taking. And that's a really big factor why I picked the C70. Now, a C70 I can shoot, which is what I'm shooting on right now. I can use a V30 card, which are really, really cheap. They're really dime a dozen. You can buy them pretty much anywhere, right? They're very, very common. And I can shoot in 10-bit C-Log 2, 1080p, and it's 50 megabits per second. And that's 50 frames per second as well, not 25, right? So there's no restrictions there. I can even shoot 100 frames per second and it's still 50 megabits per second. And what this does is, it makes the file sizes extremely small, and you've got all of this flexibility. You've got super slow-mo without any crop. You've got slow motion without any restriction, no files restriction, no processing restriction, no time that it's operating, no crop, nothing. So I'm getting all of those frame rates, and I can do it with very, very small file sizes, and then I can chuck a grade on it and I can put it on social media, and it looks just as good. I've even tried 720p in the Canon C70, and I'm telling you, it's pretty hard to tell the difference between 4K and all the rest of it. The image is good enough, right? Okay, you can, if you want to shoot in your higher frame rates, you can get a better quality image. But in today's market where media is so expensive, these frame rates are a real advantage for like 95% of all of the content I do. And that's one of the main reasons why I bought the C70. Now, the other reason why I bought the C70 is maybe it's a con for some people and a plus for other people. Now, we all know the Canon C70 is the Super 35, which is the old video format, pretty much. They're all moving to full frame now. But in some ways, it's a disadvantage because I have my anamorphic lenses, and the one that's the 33mm, it can't be used with the speed booster because it has an extension on the back. So I can only use it on my full frame cameras if I want to get the full 33mm. If I put it on this camera, it's actually about 50 something, right? So that's a little bit of a pain. So that's a negative about the Super 35 and having to use the speed booster to get the full frame if you want to put a full frame lens on it. But on the plus side, if you are a person who likes to use cine lenses because you've got a cinema camera, all of the S35 lenses are like really, really cheap. Like you can buy pretty good Chinese cine lenses for around about $500 to $1,000 Aussie, and they're not bad. I mean, okay, you can buy better ones, but they're good enough. They're good enough to do work where you're getting a little bit more character than your normal stock lenses, but you're not paying a fortune. You can get yourself a lot of lenses for quite a reasonable price, because the Super 35 cinema lenses are much, much cheaper than the full frame cinema lenses. So you can build out your kit with a lot less money. Your media is a lot cheaper. The camera is probably sitting above some other cameras that may be able to do a similar task. But the Canon C70, it has an extremely good image. Plus, it has all of the cinema and exposure functions, and they stay on. Like, I can zoom in now with it on, and I can bring up the waveform and the peaking and all of the stuff whilst it's recording. I don't need to stop it to adjust. Like, even in the new FX5, you can't do that, which is amazing for the price of that camera. But this is why I like the C70, and this is why, even in 2026, this camera, although it may be missing some of the, you know, those trendy features in the new cameras, it wins in a lot of the everyday things that people don't like to talk about, like media size. They are talking about that, but not going like really small. And at 50 megabits per second, that's half the size of a GoPro. A GoPro shoots in 100 megabits per second if you're shooting 4K. And we can shoot in 1080p, 50 megabits per second, and it looks a shitload better than a GoPro. So this is why I picked up another Canon C70. It's got some benefits. For me, those outweigh all of that other stuff, because I do weddings and I do a lot of run and gun stuff, and I actually do a lot of social media content, and the C70 just makes that like absolutely seamless for me. Anyway, guys, if you've got any questions about the C70, I've got two now. I've got a brand new and I've got a second-hand one. So I'm starting to get pretty familiar with these cameras. Got any questions, leave them down below, and I'll see what I can do if I can answer them for you.